What's happening, Frugal fam? My name is Mike, and you are currently watching part 3 of this video series. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 yet, then be sure to check them out first in the link above. But otherwise, if you're all caught up, then at this point you should know what your credit score is, have at least one copy of your credit report, know if you have any errors on your credit report, and know how to dispute those errors to get them removed off of your credit report. And so in the previous video, we left off by introducing the 5 different components that influence your credit score. Specifically, we talked about your payment history and gave you a better idea about how debt collection agencies work. And in case you're watching right now and don't have the cleanest track record within this category, we're going to talk about 2 common derogatory marks that people may have on their payment history. And these are missed payments and then any accounts that have been sent to collections. So I'll go into more detail about what these 2 negative marks mean on your credit report, and then can give you some concrete steps you can take to potentially help raise your credit score.
Let's get it.
Alright, let's start off with missed payments first. If you have a bill or credit card payment that's more than 30 days overdue, the first thing you should do is pay off that unpaid debt as soon as you can. As I mentioned in the previous video, a 30-day missed payment is going to hurt your credit score a lot less than a 90-day missed payment. And really the goal here is to avoid a charge-off, which is when the lender has essentially given up on trying to collect money from you. A charge-off occurs at the 180-day mark, and it looks really bad if you have this on your credit report. Luckily, missed payments and charge-offs only stay on your credit report for about 7 years. So these types of negative marks are not permanent, and you do have an opportunity to increase your credit score in the future. And so if we assume that you are able to settle your missed payments before the lender sends your account to collections, then let's talk about the next steps you can take. First, I just want to note that by paying off your accounts that are considered missed payments, you are lowering your debt to income ratio, which is a good thing because that ratio is something that banks look at prior to approving you for a mortgage. However, you still need to be aware that even though you paid off this debt, it still has already been reported to the credit bureaus as a missed payment, meaning that even if you settle your accounts that are considered missed payments, they will still be listed on your credit report for about 7 years. But don't you worry, Frugal Fam might have a possible solution for you. One thing you could do to get it removed from your credit report is to send a goodwill letter to either your creditor or lender. Now, if you missed a payment from 6 years ago, I wouldn't bother writing a letter because your missed payment is going to be removed from your credit report at the 7-year mark anyways. And it also doesn't impact your credit score as much as a more recent missed payment, which may have happened last year. So if you have a missed payment that's relatively new on your credit report, then just do a quick Google search and look up goodwill letter. You are essentially writing a letter to either your creditor or lender, and you're asking for forgiveness in hopes that they will remove your missed payments off of your credit report. By removing these types of negative marks off of your credit report, you have a better chance of increasing your credit score and getting approved for future loans. But just remember, your creditor or lender is not obligated to do this. So worst case scenario, they don't remove it from your credit report, and then you'll just have to wait the remainder of the 7 years to have your missed payments account naturally fall off of your credit report. And so another common derogatory mark, which you may find on your credit report, will be having an account go to collections. As I mentioned earlier, this is usually where a credit card company has given up on trying to collect payment from you. And so now you have to deal with a collections agency to try to negotiate your debt. And this doesn't just apply to unpaid credit card debt. Any type of unpaid debt can be sent to collections, including any of the loans that you see on the screen, to include things like utilities and unpaid medical debt. Now, if this does apply to you and you do have collections listed on your credit report, there is a way to possibly get it removed. And that way is a pay for deletion letter. So similar to the goodwill letter that I mentioned earlier, the pay for deletion method is where you write a letter to the collections agency requesting that they remove negative information off of your credit report. The major difference between both types of letters is in a goodwill letter, you are basically saying, hey, I made a one-time mistake. Please forgive me and remove this off of my credit report. Whereas with a pay for deletion letter, you are proposing to the collections agency that you are willing to pay a portion or all of your unpaid debt in exchange for them removing the negative information off of your credit report. Now, there's definitely strategies on how to do this, so feel free to look this up on Google, but just know it's pretty uncommon for a pay for deletion letter to be successful, as the debt collection agencies all have contracts with the major credit bureaus and are obligated to report accurate credit information. A better option than trying to send out all these different types of letters is to just pay off your outstanding debt that's in collections. When dealing with collection agencies, there are definitely opportunities to negotiate settling your unpaid debt, but that might be for another video. The better option is to just pay off the debt that's in collections if you have the money available. Now, before you pay a dime to a collections agency, you want to make sure that you're not paying for an expired debt or falling victim for a scam. And so the best way to do that is to request from the collections agency a debt validation letter. This is basically a letter that shows you how much money you owe, who you owe it to, and what you can do if you believe the debt does not belong to you. Validating your debt is extremely important because you want to make sure that you're not falling for a scam. And if it's not a scam, then you want to make sure that you're not paying for a debt that's already been paid off. And same thing as before, if you want more information, then just do a quick Google search. There's plenty of detailed information out there on how debt validation works. And so assuming the debt collector has sent you the debt validation letter, one thing I want to mention is even after paying this collections debt off completely, it will still remain on your credit report for a remainder of the 7-year period. So even though the debt will still be listed on your credit report, by paying it off, you still could potentially raise your credit score depending on which scoring model is being used. For example, FICO 9 and VantageScore 3.0 and 4.0 are the newest credit scoring models that are out. And both of these ignore collection accounts that have a zero balance, meaning that if you were to pay off your outstanding debt that's in collections, your credit score may improve. Unfortunately though, not every lender uses the newest scoring models. So even after paying off your debt, your credit score could remain the same depending on which scoring model is being used by the lender. And so ultimately, I think paying off accounts that are in collections is a great idea. Although it may not increase your credit score, it will at least be reflected on your credit report that your account has been paid. This can help increase your chances for being approved for future loans like mortgages. And it can also help you avoid potential lawsuits from debt collectors who may try to sue you for the money that you owe on your unpaid debt. But don't take it from me, I'm not a lawyer or a credit specialist. I'm just a random dude making YouTube videos in my parents' basement. And one last thing before I wrap this video up. All of the tips that I mentioned throughout this video series can be implemented by you for free. So you don't need to hire a credit repair company to do these things for you. Credit repair companies will go through your credit report and look for errors, and then will dispute those errors on your behalf. They usually work on a subscription type service and can charge you anywhere between $79 and $129 per month.
Guys, that's crazy expensive.
I highly recommend you never pay for a credit repair service. There's nothing that they can do that you can't do for yourself for free. I mean, come on guys, we're trying to stay frugal, fam. Besides, I already showed you in parts 1 and 2 of this video series how to check your credit report for errors, and then how to dispute those errors on your own for free. So whatever you do, do not use credit repair companies. Alright, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Join me next week for the finale of this series, where I'll finish talking about the remaining factors that affect your credit score, and some different ways you can improve your credit score based on these remaining categories. See ya in the next one! And as always,
Stay frugal, fam.
hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button that's right above me. And then check out my other videos, which I'll have listed on this side of your screen. We'll see you next time, Frugal Fam.